We have brought about some changes to the Key Stage 3 assessment framework, which in turn will have an impact on our reporting system. These changes have been introduced both to align our practices with the Trust and to ensure that student progress is using common assessment language across the curriculum. Assessment in Key Stage 3 has been reviewed across all subject areas with the intent of clearly defining our curriculum expectations so that we can accurately identify where students are in their learning and to see where, if any, curriculum gaps have arisen, so that intervention can be made with impact and also that we can provide meaningful feedback that empowers our students to progress to the next stage. These changes have been implemented into Year 7 and Year 8 already, with Year 9 to follow next year. Assessment without levels is a framework for reporting on progress without assigning a level or a grade. Instead, curriculum progress is communicated via the language in the curriculum being delivered. We have introduced coloured bands which correspond to a curriculum descriptor. We have acquiring in yellow, developing in light green, securing in dark green, and extending in blue. These colours and these titles for each band are essentially arbitrary unless they are compared with the curriculum descriptor for that subject, which gives them much more valuable and rich information on what is expected for that particular band. Each year, the amount of curriculum content increases in complexity and challenge. The curriculum expectations have been outlined in such a way that progress is measured by how much of the curriculum the students have learned. A secure student in Year 8, which is dark green colour, will have made more progress than a secure student in Year 7, as they are assessed on how much curriculum content and knowledge they have acquired. A student in Year 8 will have progressed through more of the curriculum than a student in Year 7. As students progress through the Key Stage 3 years, we build upon key concepts and revisit topics to improve the ability of students to recall information. So essentially this means that each year, as a child enters the next year in Key Stage 3, teaching and assessment become more demanding. We aim to support students as they move towards Key Stage 4 and to keep them moving towards their aspirational targets. The curriculum descriptors have been thoughtfully created by each subject staff to outline the curriculum expectations in each band. They highlight the expectations for progression through the curriculum in that subject. For these descriptors, assessments and teacher feedback are tailored to the framework so the language that is being used links back to those descriptors. The descriptors for each subject can be found on the St John's website. Here is an example from computer science. As you progress through acquiring to developing to secure and so on, the content gets more demanding and requires students to apply knowledge from multiple contexts. Within a lesson, teachers will break down the descriptors to match the specific topic that is being covered at that point in time. You can see the similarities in the unit content and how this relates to the overall Key Stage 3 descriptors. Other subjects will have very similar looking descriptors, and all the feedback and assessment tasks that are given will link back to the descriptor for that particular band. The benefit of this is that when your child comes to do a piece of assessment work, there will be a clear link between the success criteria, consistency of language, and the feedback provided that is essential in allowing students to progress. The key benefits of this framework is that our assessment is now much more focused on improvement and less about acquiring a number or a grade. It is also accessible to students of all academic ability, as the band structure allows for differentiation and allows students to progress at a pace that is more manageable for them. The feedback that's generated is clear and specific. Students will become self-regulated independent learners, and they become familiar in the use of these descriptors to help them move on to the next band. With time, students will become more resilient, responsible learners with self-belief and confidence. The framework will help to instill a growth mindset within our students as they will become much more skilled at identifying their next steps. The new framework offers a great variety of tasks that can be used to assess performance and measure progress towards our curriculum expectations. Some of the examples of these assessments could include key homework tasks, project-based tasks in class, end-of-topic tests, exam-style questions, summative tests. The success criteria are linked to the curriculum descriptors using the same language and with a clear pathway of progression through the task for the child. This provides detailed and specific feedback linked to how the student can move from one band to the next, and it is encouraged that these pieces of work are teacher, peer and self-assessed regularly. As always, you can support your child by having continual dialogue with them about the progress they are making. We will ensure that information is sent home in a timely manner, and using school systems such as ClassCharts and MyEd will keep you up to date with key information about your child. The curriculum descriptors are available on the school website. They contain the assessment language your child will be using in lessons. Please use these descriptors to support conversations about your child's homework, their assessment task, or their classwork. You may use the following questions to help guide a conversation. What band are you working at, or what colour are you? Then discuss how they can move to the next colour. Did they know where to find that information? What are they aiming for? Can they articulate how to improve their work? Do they know where to find the information that will help them with this? After an assessed piece of work, you could also use these descriptors to discuss how they feel about the work that they have produced. What could they do differently next time? And again, where would they find the information to help them make those improvements? Having these open conversations about your child's work will help to develop those values of resilience and responsibility, and will help to develop their confidence and self-belief. And it will also, in the long run, make them much more independent, self-regulated learners, providing lifelong virtues that will support them in their studies and beyond. We would encourage all students to have routines in place for homework, and to also balance this with a healthy mix of extracurricular activities to support their overall well-being. I hope this has helped you to understand our new Key Stage 3 assessment framework. Please contact the school if you would like to discuss this further.